Hey there. Welcome to the Pine Island Experience podcast. I'm Joanna Anderson with my husband, Trygve. Each of our episodes will be conversations with fellow Pine Islanders.
The goal of our podcast is to share with you our experiences, what we have found to be fun, and what makes the Pine Island experience so unique.
The bands, we have had great results from them. They feel like they're on a Cadillac compared to what they've played it under a tent on the concrete, it being 90 degrees outside, which makes the concrete or the pavement very, very hot. And so we built the stage. It's metal, and it's Pine Island Welding actually built it. So we try to keep things on the island and use people on the island because we're all in the same boat here. And so we try to put the business this way, but the bands have been very receptive as far as the stage, and all the electrics fixed. They don't have any issues there.
You just heard Sheila Breech light up as she shared how much the musicians love performing at Kickstands Pub and Grub, the new biker-themed hotspot right here on Pine Island. She and her husband, Dave, have put serious heart and elbow grease into transforming the space from major electrical upgrades to building a stage that artists are calling the best they've played on. Let's rewind to the beginning. Here's Sheila. Sheila Breech, thank you for joining us. We love Kickstands Pub and Grub. Love it a lot. And we've been to quite a few of the concerts and been there for dinner and lunch. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having us, me and my husband's at the restaurant doing some major maintenance things. So, it's always something that you got to fix or put together to keep the restaurant going inside and outside.
Yeah, you really don't get a day off, do you?
No, not really. It's 24/7 pretty much because anything can happen at any time. And so, if we're not at the restaurant, I'm doing paperwork or ordering food or, things like that, schedules. It gets busy.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself before you came here and opened the restaurant. Can you fill us in with you and David?
Yep. Dave and I met about 26 years ago, so we've been together a long time. We actually met through a friend in Ohio, and I was a hairdresser then, and we kind of thought we wanted to get out on our own and build a business. So he was a sales rep for Anheuser-Busch, and then he retired. But prior to that, we started a company called Professional Coil, and we still have it. We travel the country and install draft beer systems. We do maintenance on draft systems in Ohio. We opened up a restaurant. Dave's family's actually been in the restaurant business since the 50s. His dad and another guy opened up Rofini's, which is very well known in Columbus, Ohio, for a lot of years, but it's no longer. We closed our part of it. It was pizza, subs, stuff like that. We opened up the carry-out adjacent to the restaurant and also had that. And as the years went on, we thought we would get an RV and start traveling the country to decide where we wanted to move. It was important to have friendly people and a nice area where we would feel comfortable. And, in our age of getting old, all of that was important. So we initially went to Fort Lauderdale. We were there for 3 years. We traveled all the way out west, Texas, California, Oklahoma, and decided to go to Fort Lauderdale. Then we were there 3 years and decided we wanted to find a house and settle down. So we saw a house on Zillow, and it was in Cape Coral. So we came over and looked at it. I loved the house, and I loved the place. We went to a few restaurants and talked to people, and this is the most friendliest people and the best little area ever. So we sold our RV. We bought our house here in the southwest part of the Cape, and we were there for 2 years and decided to sell that. And like everyone else, we bought a boat and we had nowhere to put it. So we decided to put that in the harbor for a little bit. And I told my husband, we might as well buy a house on the water because we're paying this money to have this boat. So we ended up finding something in the northwest part of the Cape, and that was during COVID. So the house was half built. There wasn't the pool or anything. So anyway, we ended up selling our house in one day and had to go back up to Ohio in the freezing cold weather in March. So the house wasn't finished until July, but it's a beautiful house. And we have the best neighbors ever. It's just amazing how Cape Coral, St. James City, the island all come together and are just so friendly and helpful and everything. So then we also went to Ragged Ass, and we were upset when that closed down. We just could not understand why. So, it closed down, and then we saw that Fine Swine closed in December, and we approached Mark and said that we were interested in purchasing the building. So then we went through, signed the contract and everything, and it took the SBA about 4 or 5 months to get the whole thing, the loan closed and all of that. So I think that was in June. And we worked very hard in painting and cleaning up things and getting the tiki built, which is a cheeky hut. And the stage, we've gone through different parts of building the stage and tearing it down and starting a new one. So that's kind of how we started on the island. We wanted to make it a Ragged Ass, not be Ragged Ass, but be our own place to go. We have excellent food. We have a chef that cooks. Our chef from Ohio came down and we created the menu items and put the recipes together. So the chef we have currently is using those. Some are mine, some are Dustin's, and that's how we kind of created our menu. But then on the weekends, we wanted to attract the motorcycles to come out, listen to the music. And it's family oriented, it's pet friendly. We welcome everyone to come, children, and have some great food and entertainment. We did get the bar outside built, and now we've put some pavers down around the bar, and we have some outside round tables, which makes it a little bit more homier, I think, and welcoming rather than picnic tables. We'll still have the picnic tables for the bands and things, but it's important for us to have good food, great atmosphere, and for people to sit down and enjoy the tiki and everything around them.
I remember that when I first met you there, I ate inside with my friend, and we asked you about the menu, and you said you're still working on it. I could tell you were a real thinker, and planner, and you said we're going to try this and see, so you took a lot of time and energy you put into that menu.
Yes, and Dustin, our chef from Ohio, coming down and working on it and getting it all, tasting all the food. And it took a little bit. We didn't open up until August 8th because we wanted it to be right. I did get on Facebook and I created the Kickstands Pub and Grub Facebook page, which lets everyone know when we were going to open and what stage we were at. The painting on the side, the mural that we put with Kickstands, Pub and Grub. A friend of ours, Bob, did that.
Oh.
I didn't know he had that kind of talent. So I'm like, wow. And he actually built the bar and everything. He's so talented. And everyone has helped us build this. So it's not just Dave and I. It's a lot of people around us that put a lot of effort into it to be successful.
If we jump back a little bit, so you're living in Fort Lauderdale. When you went to look for a home, when you made that decision, do you remember like how Cape Coral popped up per se? Did you know something about Southwest Florida? Was it the house itself, or like kind of what were the factors that got you to this side of the state?
Well, going into Zillow, we really didn't know anything about Cape Coral. We came upon the house, and I loved the house and just what we were seeing on Zillow. And the population was low, which we had so much traffic over there. So we were hoping to go someplace where it wasn't crazy and wild. But we are growing very fast and rapidly. And that's what happened to get us over here. We looked at the house, the area. We stopped at the harbor and Rum Runners and Fathoms and things. So we talked to people. And that's kind of what drew us here.
And then once you settled in Cape Coral, you went exploring and found Pine Island?
Yes. Everybody's like, you have to go out there. Everyone you talk to said, you have to go here, you have to go there. They were very helpful in getting us acclimated to the whole area of what's available here. So that's kind of how we got onto the island. And we were motorcycle riders. And they said, you have to go to Ragged Ass. So we would go out there or, just venture out low key and froggies. And
it's probably easy to guess being motorcycle riders, but what was the thought process on naming the business?
I wanted it to kind of be unique as well as bring the motorcycles in. So that's why we created Pub and Grub, not just Kickstands. We have a friend that opened up a bar in Columbus named Kickstands. And I wasn't even thinking about that when we were doing the name. And I wanted the K to kind of be a kickstand for a motorcycle, but that didn't work out. Mm-hmm. So we created the motorcycle on top, which made it a little bit more eye appealing. But that's how we came up with it. We like it.
Color scheme, was it just like the high contrast, bright colors to people's attention? Or what, what was the inspiration for that?
Well, orange is definitely a Harley color. Mm-hmm. So we wanted the orange to be into the color of the side of the building, but yet we painted the rest of it kind of like a tan color because it was initially an orange and blue building, but we wanted the orange and the black to stand out on the side, and then the rest of it to be welcoming and homey underneath the cheeky hut. So that's kind of how we got the colors and the inspiration to make it what it is right now, the color.
And then in terms of the remodeling, you had something that was, I guess, basically a barbecue joint, and now you're going to more, you mentioned homey, and what did you see, and then what kind of all did you have to tackle to get it to where you wanted to be?
Yeah, the inside, it was very nice when we purchased it, but we want it to be kind of a sports inside, TVs, if somebody wanted to come and watch a ball game or a football game or something. We put up all the TVs. We did paint everything inside. The kitchen, we upgraded a lot of the kitchen appliances because we did add pizza. Pizza doesn't drag the people there or bring them in, but it's part of what Dave's family was in their restaurant business and stuff. So we wanted to have the pizza and make it inside where people would come in and watch ball games, but yet, eat good food. And we do allow dogs and things inside. they're not on the table or anything, but they can sit on
They
the floor.
can't sit at the table.
No, but they want to.
Well, the food's so good.
They smell the food.
So you'd run a business and you had family connections to a restaurant. When you actually then opened, kind of this dream, I word, not necessarily yours, what's it like for the first 2 to 3 weeks? Were you in this is what we want to do, or maybe the opposite spectrum of what the heck did we do, or somewhere in between?
All of that.
Did you
and
go
more.
through that?
Yeah.
Questioning it?
Because it was so much, when we initially looked at it, the restaurant itself, it looked like it was just a turnkey type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once we got into it, we've had to replace the electric and the cooler condensing units. And we've had to do a lot of upgrades because we would be working and then we didn't have any electric. So we had to shut down, I don't know how many times, 5 or 6 times. We would just get up and running and we would go down again. And so finally we did upgrade the electric to 400 amps. It was 200 amps. And even the LCEC came out and shut us down because they said your building's going to burn down because the meter is going backwards. So we had a lot of things for that made us think, what do we get ourselves into, being that we've had to do all of this repairs and things. And there's still things we're doing, putting handrails up that for the wheelchairs and stuff that weren't there before. And we just were inspected by the fire inspectors and we've had to replace, and like the electrical plugs we had to bring up, and some things at the stage, there was like some things missing. So that whole box had to be replaced. And so we've had issues of fixing things, and that puts your mindset into, wow, never thought we'd be into this, but we're almost to the end of everything that needs to be replaced and fixed. So we just need customers.
But you probably replaced everything. I mean,
Almost.
At this point.
The bathrooms, we've had to replace sinks and things the plumbing, we've had to replace a lot of things. We've had to put in hot water tanks because it wasn't enough hot water to wash our dishes in the dish tank. So you can't have that. So it's just little things that you don't think about when you're purchasing a business. And we've purchased many. It's just that this one was a little bit more entailed.
Do you get feedback from the musicians in terms of the stage or the performing area, or are they just happy to be playing instruments and entertaining people? And this is adjustments that you two are trying to make it a nicer venue for them to be at?
The bands, we have had great results from them. They feel like they're on a Cadillac.
Really?
Compared to what they've played it under a tent on the concrete, it being 90 degrees outside, which makes the concrete or the pavement very, very hot. And so we built the stage. It's metal, and it's Pine Island Welding actually built it. So we try to keep things on the island and use people on the island because we're all in the same boat here. And so we try to put the business this way, but the bands have been very receptive as far as the stage, and all the electric's fixed. They don't have any issues there.
So they don't have to be all acoustic. You've got that ready for them.
Yes, pretty much. Plug and go.
Parking that you've done. You even did motorcycle parking. You took care of that. And then as well as the car parking, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we try to accommodate everyone as much as we can. I know people have complained because the cars get built up so quickly. We've tried to put the parking lot where it's accessible to them, but then the motorcycles coming in, and they like to keep an eye on their motorcycles and they want to make sure it's safe and a car's not going to run it over or something like that. And so we kind of block it off for them to have access to parking there, and then the cars. And people around us have been very friendly about letting us use their areas if for need be,
Like overflow?
Yeah, overflow
Wow.
parking. So they said, hey, you can let people park here, which is nice.
Very nice. Well, it is a nice community.
It is very nice. Everybody's including businesses. I mean, we go to their business, they come to our business, which is very nice.
I know you opened with dinner and lunch, but then you took on breakfast.
Yes.
And that's going well, isn't it?
It's going well. Right now we're slow only because, it's not season. And we feel like it's something that the island needed. So a breakfast place that they can come and eat breakfast and then stay for lunch and then eat dinner. Never
Can't
go
get rid
home.
of them. That's wonderful.
So our dinner, we're struggling with that for people to come out. It seems like the island closes down by 6 or 7. People are home, or they're just getting home from work and they just don't feel like going out. So we are trying the delivery. We've gone to that, and it's called Chow Now. They need to open it up to Bokelia also. I know it's towards St. James and Matlacha, but for some reason they're not going to Bokelia, which is on the same road. So I'm trying to fix that.
Well, you're so centrally located. It's wonderful. They should
it's
be
right in
going
the middle.
all 3 directions.
So I don't know. I got to talk to them and make sure that they have the ability to order as like anyone else. But I think that the delivery will pick up.
It would be such a treat to people on the island to have something delivered, because I don't think it's happening. Maybe a pizza, maybe not.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody or who is delivering, but I just thought it was a great idea to get that out there. And there's a lot of elderly people. There's people that, need help that can't get food. We're willing to deliver it to them. So nice and hot, good food.
That's good of you to offer that.
We hope it picks up.
What's popular on the breakfast menu? What's the most popular item?
The most popular thing is I put something really simple, just 2 eggs, bacon or sausage, and toast.
Yeah.
So we have that for $7.99, and a lot of people come out and have that. And then if you want hash browns, and then as well as a fruit cup, the next item up is the daily special, and that offers, eggs, bacon, sausage, toast, and fruit, and hash brown for $11.99. It offers a lot more, and we have pancakes, we have sandwiches. We have biscuits and gravy. We have a wide variety. The Kickstands bowl has the sausage or bacon, the sausage gravy, as well as the eggs. It's all in one little skillet. It's a cute little skillet.
But when you get to lunch and dinner, it's like sandwiches, burgers, that seems to be a little bit more standardized. You can predict that a little bit better. But yeah, when you start saying 2 eggs, I'm like, well, that's me. Just some eggs and toast. I'm pretty good. But other people then want some of that other stuff you mentioned. So is it like in terms of ordering, understanding the demand? How's that working out in terms of, being able to anticipate?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Sometimes, I don't want 2 eggs and toast or something. I want, biscuit and gravy or yogurt. So we have a big variety. If people were to come every single day, they could eat a sandwich, or they could eat the breakfast bowl or pancakes. And it's a simple breakfast, but it gives other people opportunity to, get things they like.
It sounds like a tough menu, breakfast. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
But I see you have, I think, lunch specials, dinner specials.
Yeah, we have daily specials every day. So we have the pizza. We have a chicken sandwich. We have a bologna sandwich. We have catfish, which, is more of a northern type thing, but same way with bologna. That's kind of a northern thing. And I feel like a lot of the people from the north are here, and we're all from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it all comes together in the food we have. Mm-hmm. So we have the $11.99. And it goes from 11 to 3 because we start our dinner menu at 4. We'll do it earlier if someone comes in and wants, dinner at 3:30. We'll do that too. But the daily special, just aside, we make all of our pasta salads, potato salads, our coleslaws are all homemade. We do the fresh cut fries. We tried to do all of our basics, our ranch dressings homemade. There's a lot of things that we do from scratch that people don't realize. They think it just comes out of a jar or something, but we're
That's
pretty
impressive.
much, we do a lot of fresh things.
Well, your onion rings blew me away when I had those. They were delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do them, but they are lovely.
Well, and our chef does, when we do our filet, she makes an onion ring, handmade, and she stuffs it with some meat, onion, and things. And then she puts a little bit of our dressing up on top of that, and it sits on top of the filet. So it's very good. And it tastes very well with the steak because you can eat it with it. And like our meatloaf, we have like a barbecue puree type thing that goes over top of the meatloaf. And that's homemade also. The meatloaf is...
So we touched a little bit on the entertainment. When is the entertainment times? I mean, is there a kind of a set schedule that you try to achieve, or how's that work out?
On our entertainment, on Saturdays and Sundays, we do 1 to 4. I feel like people come out more during the day, and it's been pretty receptive as far as the times. Motorcyclists don't like to ride in the dark. And during season, this time of the year, it stays lighter longer. But toward the winter, it gets dark by 5. So that kind of made our during the day bands more appealing, I think, for the motorcycles. And we get people all the way from Inglewood that will travel all the way here, or Lehigh Acres. So that's an hour ride for a motorcyclist or anyone that gets in a car even when we put that out there. So we try to keep everything in the daytime. And I know a lot of the other places do evening bands. So if they want, they can travel on and listen to a band in the evening, but we prefer during the day.
And then you've also hosted some special events at your place.
Yes, we actually took one of our own motorcycles and we did a raffle for that to help the island, and the Pine Island Alliance partnered with us to get that out there and to help people if they needed products to build their house or drywall. We wanted that to go out to them. And so we raised $13,000 for that. And the recipient was actually there when we pulled the ticket.
Oh, wow.
So it was really, really a great event. And they were very happy about it. Getting the money. The Alliance did very well in doing that for us. And we did the mullet race over there, so the motorcycle, so people could see it and see what we're giving away. It was very nice. It was our actual first motorcycle when we got our license in 2011. Both of us have our motorcycle license. So I don't ride anymore. I'm just on the back with my husband now. It's just not something I want to do anymore. I'm going to be 69 years old. So I just don't feel like I'm strong enough to get out there and ride. And then the other event we did was for Frank that was in the motorcycle accident. And we wanted to help him out with rebuilding his life. And that's going to be something that's going to be a long-term thing. Mm-hmm. But when you worry about money and you can't pay your bills or you can't eat, we wanted to have him rest a little assured that the people on the island are behind him and to rebuild for him. So that was important.
And you've been obviously adjusting and adapting as you've gone along since you opened up. Are there any future plans that you're thinking about? If it's a big secret between you two, don't need to say it, but things that you're thinking about in terms of expanding the business or other offerings or things that you might want to do?
We would love to do something with our parking lot, but the permitting part has been a long, drawn-out thing, so in which we understand. So we would like to do that for the motorcycles, even if we can only do a little small area. We would like to maybe have a chili cook-off or do a blues weekend, bands, and so some events that will bring the people out and come together. We've had people ask us to do poker runs for people that have been injured in motorcycle accidents or anything. So we're there to help people out, and the community, we all need help at some time. So we want to be a part of that.
So maybe remind everybody hours of operation, et cetera. So if they want to visit, they know when they can come.
Yes, we are open Monday. We're closed on Tuesday currently, but we're through the rest of the week. We open at 7:30 for breakfast, and we close our kitchen at 7 p.m. and we're gone by 8. But currently, like I said, we are closed on Tuesdays. We will start opening back up August or September if it needs to be. So that's our hours of operation. We start our breakfast 7:30.
And then they can order to have it delivered, which is very exciting.
Yes.
They can go out to Facebook.
Yes, Facebook, we're Kickstands Pub and Grub. You can follow everything. I am having the website rebuilt. It's up and running, kickstandspubandgrub.com. You can go on there and look at our menu, but we're also going to put our merchandise on there. If someone wants to go on and order something, we will ship it to them so they can go on and look for that. There is a button on there. If they go to kickstandspubandgrub.com, they can push the button order. They can order online. It will take them to our menu. They can order online, and then it will come to us, and we will have somebody will come and pick up and deliver to them. Also, takeout orders, they can go on there. Our entertainment will be on there weekly, monthly, so that people, if they're coming from Lehigh Acres, they can see what band is going to be there. And so they can pre-plan rides. We've had people, 30, 40 bikes come out because they saw so-and-so was playing, and that's important.
I noticed we forgot this, your crafts, you're having classes there for crafts.
Yeah, Julie comes at least once a month, and she is amazing in the things that she creates. It's a great class. They just sit out there, drink some wine, and underneath the cheeky hut and make a craft. It's very nice. They're there for at least 2 hours or so.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And she's good.
She is.
Is there anything that you think we missed that you wanted to talk about today?
No, I don't think so. I just think that, people come out, try our food. They'll be impressed. It's really important. Pizzas, our chickens. We have dinner. We just added spaghetti and chicken parm. We added a cod dinner, and we've added tacos.
Ooh.
So those are very good. You can get those all day long. So not just dinner. So we've added a lot of good things to recreate the menu a little bit, better.
And if they can't get out, press the button.
There you go.
Or, like to see that be successful. That'd be great.
Yeah.
You can have your food then.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. This was fun.
Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful. And like I said, the island has just been great, receptive. And, we appreciate that.
We hope you enjoyed our Pine Island Experience podcast. If you have any ideas for us, people to interview, or any comments, please feel free to email them to us at pineislandexperience@gmail.com. That's pineislandexperience, all one word, @gmail.com. Don't forget to like us, and you may subscribe to this podcast using all the major catchers like Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. Thanks again for listening, and remember, island life is a constant vacation. We'll see you on the next podcast.